Hello, everybody.
Hi,
Hopefully you guys had
everybody.
a fun time today. I'm going to give everybody a chance to introduce themselves. Nancy, you can go first.
Hello, my name is Nancy from Better Life Blog, and me and Jamila are business buddies. Yep. And I love crafting. I love creating designs for Cricut and Silhouette. And yeah, I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me, Jamila.
Nancy, other Nancy.
Other Nancy. Hi, I'm Nancy from Craft Chameleon. And what do? We love crafting. We love making things. We love having classes. We love doing all kinds of things at Craft Chameleon.
Carrie Ann.
Carrie Ann is
also from Craft Chameleon. Yep. Nancy is my business partner, and she's also my aunt. And she's still at the warehouse, and I'm at home in my studio.
Comfy.
Yep. She's going to probably leave early. She's got a customer that needs help with a Christmas present that she's making. So whenever that lady gets there, she'll be cruising out.
I'll have to get out. Yeah.
Right. Yep. Sean, you can introduce yourself again.
Hi, I was here last night for those of you that were here. My name is Sean Mosh. I'm a mom, Minnesota girl. I love hockey, Disney, and crafting. And I especially love teaching people how to use Cricut Design Space. I'm hoping all of you learned something new in my perfect print and cut project presentation. Wow, that's a lot of P's.
And I am Jamila Payne. I am your host for the Cricut SVG Design Summit. Last night, I was very nervous, so I didn't tell much about myself. I started my business actually in 2017. Well, I started Color Me Crafty in 2017, and it's just evolved. 2017 is when I quit my job. What else? In my free time, I like to play Call of Duty on the Xbox. It's the best way to murder without going to prison.
Yeah. How you deal with the stress.
Right. So tonight is going to be very casual. I would love for you to drop comments in the chat. We're going to be giving away some VIP passes tonight.
Yes.
This is a sip and chat, so drop what you're drinking in the chat. I have coffee in my Sublimation Camp mug and also water here.
This is why you stay up
I'm
so late.
Water and Mickey Mouse glass. Yes, of course.
I have like a phobia of running out of things to drink, I think, because I've got
I have this right here too.
and coffee.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
I am set.
He was supposed to be here with me, but my daughter got off early, so he went out.
Somebody, Joe Skidmore said Diet Coke all day, every day. And that's me too, Joe. Yep.
Oh, to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is comment. So just keep commenting.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions about the presentations for today that you saw today? Ooh, strawberry watermelon flavor water. I have this one. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, what is that?
Yeah, I drink that one.
Energy strawberry pineapple smash. I saw it and I was like, that sounds delicious.
Yeah. I like it because you can add just a little or a lot. So,
a lot, yeah.
You know, if you want a lot of flavor, go for it. If not. So.
Have you seen the water talk part of TikTok?
With the circles?
Water talk.
Circle? No, I haven't.
It's this whole section of TikTok where they like make water with like all kinds of different flavorings.
Well, I was obsessed with making, I can't remember. I think it's Herbalife. It's a Herbalife dupe.
Oh.
And you basically just use sugar-free like water packets and put it in this giant cup. I had 30-ounce tumblers I was just walking around with. But it's a good way to get water in, and you can mix and match and make energy drinks and stuff like that.
I see a question.
Marge, where'd it go? Can you tell me what problems you had with the presentations?
Yeah, that's the one I was seeing.
Laura, I'm going to drop a link to the schedule page in the chat. And what you can do is go to the schedule page and click on the day's videos, and it'll take you directly to the video.
Margie also had a question.
Yeah, it's this one. That's who I was speaking of. What kind of problems did you have with the presentations, Margie? The chats move so fast. I try to
It
keep up.
does. That's why I was watching.
I don't want to miss that anybody, but I know it's going to happen. I did not have the same images in my color. Where'd it go?
Oops.
Oh, maybe it was a file issue?
Was it with the file? What is this hand pink waving in the chat? It's interesting.
It's an emoji.
Oh, okay. Like, what is that?
So it says I did not have the same images, then my colors did not change.
Oh,
What was the project?
It might help to, Margie, if you want to post it in the group and then tag the person whose presentation it was, and then maybe also tag Jamila, and then that way we could kind of get to the bottom of what the issue is.
Yeah, because it's really hard to answer a question where it's like you're getting little bits and pieces.
Whose presentation was it, Margie?
Shondell. I see her in the chat. I'm trying to figure out how I can just get her up here. I'm probably going to have to send her a link to the chat. Where is she joining from? YouTube. Some of the VIP bonuses are not what they were supposed to be. If you could email help@jamilapayne.com with questions, or post them in the Facebook, questions like that. Like, I don't know what you were looking for, or
sometimes links get crossed.
Yeah. But it's easier to fix if you,
especially on the first day, right?
Well, okay.
You guys should know
500 fires this morning.
You guys should know that putting together a summit is a lot of work. And Jamila did.
That's where I was just going to go. Like, Jamila, how many hours did you put into this? And then how little sleep did you probably get last night?
This time, I didn't go to bed till 2:30, and I was up at 5:30.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, this week, or I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, Monica has a comment for you, Sean.
I see that, Monica. Thank you. Yep.
Shondell, if you can hear me, I just sent you the link on Facebook if you want to join in here on the chat.
I had somebody ask me in the Facebook group, like, do you need to calibrate before every time you print then cut? The answer is you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Everybody sitting here knows. So you should be able to just calibrate the one time, and then only need to do it again if Cricut decides to change all of their settings and how the calibration works. Or if your images are not cutting accurate, then you can recalibrate. But for my machine, I can count on this hand how many times I've calibrated. Original with the Cricut update, and then to film the video for this presentation. So I see that Joyce said that she's learned something from each presentation. That is awesome.
I love
very, very awesome to hear. And I wanted to address Barbara. Thank you, Barbara. I was very nervous about hosting a summit this close to Christmas. Um, but we got 10,000. I think we're at 10,000 registered at this point. So,
Nice.
and we still have people registering all day long. We've had people registering. Nancy at Craft Chameleon, this one's for you.
That's actually for Carrie Ann. she's our designer. So yeah.
I'm one of them. And actually I use Illustrator far more than Corel Draw. But Julie, who's our other designer, and she does our website, she does Corel, and all of the original Craft Chameleon files are in Corel, and all of our files are in Illustrator. So we've had to learn how to do them all and then use them in Cricut. So that's how.
So the great thing about that question is maybe I will make sure that at my June summit there is some Corel Draw.
Yeah,
my June summit is all about learning how to design outside of Cricut Design Space.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to say, and I don't know if I was clear on it in the beginning of our video, was that the way we explained how to do the project, you can also do those same techniques completely in Design Space, and it'll work for you.
Andrea, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, sorry, Facebook was being evil, as it often is. I'm Andrea from My Very Crafty Life. I specialize in more, hey there, I see a lot of familiar faces up here, which is nice, and thank you for having me. I primarily teach sublimation, but I also teach design, but in silhouette. So if you are looking to design outside of Design Space, I'm your person. I work on a silhouette and have just always been on there. And you can definitely follow along of what I do in Cricut. Like, you do not have to have it. I just started there, prefer it. So yeah, that's me. So thanks for having me.
So the question up on the screen, Margaret, I believe Sean's video walks you through how to do this.
So you don't technically calibrate your printer. You calibrate your Cricut
to work
to
with your
align
printer.
with the printed out calibration sheet. So it's not the printer you're calibrating, it's the Cricut. And I keep pointing like this because my craft room is on the other side of that wall. Yeah, you guys can all just see through the wall and know that my craft room is there.
It's beautiful, Sean.
Oh, punch a window through there.
For those who are silhouette people with print and cut, lighting is your main thing that you need to worry about.
Same with Cricut though.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's not finding your registration marks, then usually the light in the room is too bright.
A hack that I learned a long time ago is a black Sharpie is also your best friend. You can darken those lines.
That one.
Yeah, you can just darken your registration lines and it can pick it up a little bit better.
When I close the lid of my Cricut, that's enough to make it darker.
That's good.
Latoya said she wants to see your craft room, Sean.
Oh my gosh.
Mine's always deceptive because you see the decorative, but not the mess.
It's a hot mess.
Ever since I had the flood last year, my office, the office part is in my bedroom now.
Ooh, that's hard.
So yeah, it's
not
bad.
All around hard.
People leave me alone around here.
Tomorrow night, should I be on my iPad in my craft room?
There you go.
Say that again.
I said tomorrow night I could be on my iPad in the craft room.
There you go.
Computers in here.
If I have an Epson 8550 on a bought sublimation Hippo ink, can I still? Absolutely. So I did a video where I bought the 8550 and loaded it with Hippo ink. And that's what I've been using for my sublimation projects. So you can absolutely get good quality photos from an Epson with Hippo ink.
I mean, I do sublimation full time as my business, and I started with an Epson. They're great.
I love that.
The only thing I will say is if you're not getting the colors you want with Hippo ink, they do offer an ICC profile that you can install if you're having color issues.
And I actually have, I worked with Hippo on this, and I have the ICC profile in a blog post on my blog.
Perfect. Yeah, because most people don't realize that a lot of those inks can work fine right off the bat, but sometimes they don't. The other thing I was just going to say is not every program uses an ICC profile when you print. So something like Photoshop or Corel, they're going to use that to print. Something like Silhouette Studio and Design Space, they are bypassing, there's no way to use an ICC profile with them. So you can either print a color chart and color match, but you can't print directly through an ICC profile.
There's a video on my YouTube as well with me comparing printing from Photoshop and printing from Design Space. Your colors from Design Space, because you can't make those adjustments, are always going to show a little bit more muted than the colors from a program where you can make adjustments to the color.
Exactly. Yep. And even something like Silhouette Studio that's set up as more of an actual design program, they still don't do ICC profiles. And the number one thing I get from people is, why are my colors dull? Why is this happening? And it's always the profiles and not a good program to print from. So just keep that in mind.
So you can't do 13 by 19 from Cricut Design Space now, but you can do 11 by 17. Is it 11 by 17?
It wouldn't be a full 11 by 17 because of the, but
you
can definitely do bigger.
13 by 19 with Silhouette. Like the Cameo 4 shouldn't matter. The Cameo 4 part of that doesn't matter. You just go in and turn off your machine. Like, I'll bring the program up. For the Silhouette ones, just go to your page setup and turn off your machine to none, your cutting mat to none, and then your media size to custom. And you can have whatever you want. Now, if you want to cut, whatever size it cuts is what it cuts. But for printing or anything, you can do that in Silhouette Studio.
Did all of you have time to watch all the classes? I know I didn't.
No.
I didn't, but I would like to say that
I watched them all when they came in.
Well,
I saw Nancy's and Sean's, and I was so appreciative of both of them because I love all of the summits that everybody puts on because I think it's a great community. It's a great way to get people involved and become a community. But this one in particular, I just so badly want to tell people, just sign up for this thing because you're going to learn the tools for everything else you want to do. And the first two this morning, right out of the gate, I so badly just wanted to go, I told you so. But these are questions. They covered things that we get all the time. And we sell products. We don't sell, I mean, we're not really teachers like you guys. But people come to us. Unfortunately, they come to us with, I bought this on Amazon and whatever, and I need help.
That's my favorite.
We always want to help. Yeah. We always want to help people.
Yeah.
And so I like having the answers, but being able to refer people to something like this, where it is just so informative and so helpful. You just want everybody to participate.
And it would be good. It would be good to refer back to a lot of the info. Like it's like drinking water from a fire hose. I've gotten so many really, really good reviews on the VIP pass.
Yeah.
So,
I think the workbooks that I took the time to create will be a huge help.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, you have the video for reference, and then you have these steps in this workbook that you can print out and throw together if you want.
Carrie Ann,
so many
I
people
love
don't learn solely by watching or watching someone else, that it's really helpful.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say,
didn't mention
Carrie Ann,
this,
I
but-
love the way you put the statement of like, we learned things that we can apply to other projects. With everything I do with Cricut Design Space, I really try to teach people, why is this acting like this, and why if
Yes.
I do this, then this, I get this output.
Yeah.
So then you
Yeah.
can take that knowledge and apply it to other things.
Yep,
Exactly.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of us do that, and I think it's people get so caught up in, I have to do this project and I only know how to, and it's like, no, you know how to do
Yep.
so much more than they think they do, because they already know the steps. They're just kind of confused how to apply it.
Yeah. And a lot of things you don't even know you need it. And it was actually, I commented in the group today, somebody asked a question totally unrelated to Cricut, but she said, this is my ignorance showing or something. And I was like, it's not, because you don't know these things exist until
Yes,
you
right.
need to.
Yep.
And
yes,
there's some stuff
100%.
somebody's going to try to do a print and cut next week, and they're going to go, oh, what was that? What was that thing I had to do, or whatever. And they'll be able to go
you
back.
don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
And
you
every
don't know to
Cricut
go in.
expert starts up as a beginner.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all had a
I
first
wanted to
machine.
say that Carrie Ann and Nancy from Craft Chameleon are sponsors for this event. I wanted to make sure to mention that. So you guys go over and check out their website and their offers and all their goodies that they have.
Thank you.
Colleen, if you don't have the VIP pass, today's presentations are going to end at 8 a.m. tomorrow when day 2 presentations start. So you only have 24 hours to watch them. I am going to drop the VIP pass link in the comments just in case anybody still wants to grab it. But there's always so much information that is like packed into these summits, and VIP is very valuable, even if it only contained the presentations. Like,
And it does. And I've
other
checked
things
out a lot of people's extras.
say that again.
I said, and it's not just that. I've checked out a lot of people's extras, and they're pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's some goodies in there. There's courses and memberships and workbooks and workshops and like tons and tons and tons of stuff. But having lifetime access to the videos makes it, worth it if none of that other stuff was even there.
Right. Because then when you are working on your own project and you're like, I know they said it.
Yeah.
But did they say this or that?
Right.
You can go back and check.
Or you
Exactly.
hit a new
At
road
the
bump.
time
and
when
you're
you
just
need
not
it.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once you do it a few times, then it starts to become automatic.
Yep.
Also, I just have to say, Sean has the coolest card. I don't have a clue. We were talking about that you have like the coolest birthday card. Anyways, design.
Thank you.
I don't know why that like popped into my head, but everybody should go get it because it was awesome.
Are you talking about the birthday cake one?
Yes. The pop-up one. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah. I had
We were
fun with that
chatting
one.
about it because I saw it come across my feed one day, and anyways, ADHD brain going, but everybody should go check it out because it's really cool.
Aw, thank you.
Sharon says she feels a bit overwhelmed. So you have the VIP pass, slow down and take your time.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to try to consume it all at once. Like take your time and watch and rewatch if you need to. The VIP pass is designed to kind of help with some of that overwhelm.
Yeah.
And feel free to reach out to, none of us are going anywhere. We all are here to teach for a reason. So you can always, don't feel like you can only ask us questions in this window during.
Right.
We're always happy to help outside of that too.
So because you said that, we should probably go around and tell everybody how we can be found on different platforms. For me, you go anywhere, I'm Jamila Payne. You can find me on TikTok as Jamila Payne, YouTube, all of that. Well, a lot of you are on my YouTube, but yeah. Whoever wants to go next.
Oh,
You
I
go my
am.
name, you'll find me.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm all the places that you want me to be.
But how, like, what is your handle?
Don Mosh. I'm just,
Okay.
yeah. Or if you go on my website, all my social icons are right up at the top. One
So
stop.
mine is across the board at My Very Crafty Life. So Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I mean, Lemonade. I think I have everything at this point. I don't actively
Same.
do everything, but I also just moved. So like finalized it a month ago. So in a little bit of chaos, but yeah, it's the same across the board.
Real quick. Today's presentations have been emailed out. If you are already, if you signed up today, you probably didn't get today's presentation emails, but they are posted in the Facebook group. And you can also go to the schedule page and click through the links for day one presentations to go directly to that presentation. Okay, whoever wants next.
Nancy, do your shout out.
Well, you can find me at Better Life Blog. That's my website. That's where I am everywhere. My Instagram is My Better Life Blog, though, because somebody took Better Life Blog, and that wasn't very nice. And I don't even think they're using it.
Aw.
That's how it is with the .com for my my website. And I offered to buy it, and they were like, "Well, I'm trying to build a brand."
You said me
Color Me
too.
Crafty or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, Color Me Crafty. Like, they don't rank for Color Me Crafty at all.
Huh.
Do you have the Mac Studio, Nancy?
Me?
Yeah.
No, this is a sweet little, I don't even remember what it's called, Lumina.
Okay, because it's panning. Like, as
Oh,
you move,
is it annoying?
pans. No, it does kind of like Robin's.
It does. It moves around with
Yeah.
you.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a smart camera. So, but it's helpful because when I move over here to do my crafting, it follows my face over here.
Okay,
try
I
not to
totally
move
need
too
you to
much.
send me to a link to
No,
whatever
you're
this
fine.
is.
Now I want you
Whatever
to
this
stand up and
grocery
walk
is.
back and forth across the room just to see if it follows.
It would
you.
work. It would work.
I want to see it.
Craft Chameleon, how does everybody find you?
So my customer's here, so I have to jump off. Thank you. I really enjoyed tonight. Thank you.
Hi, Nance. So Nancy and I are at craftchameleon.com, and we also have Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, and we're just trying to get our shop with Shopify, TikTok set up. But we do have a private group for Craft Chameleon that we're really trying to make it more of a community where people can help each other. And even if you need help with something, just because it's not something you bought from us doesn't mean we can't help you with it. A lot of times I experiment. This is embarrassing. I'm not going to show you my house, but this is my garage, and it's where I make everything because I use a lot of chemicals and stuff. But I experiment with so many things. A lot of times I can say, oh, I tried that. So this is why this is doing that, or whatever it is. And we're always willing to help, whether it came from us or not. So it's
That's a great thing.
Links. I'm sorry.
That's the great thing about this community and the network that we've built through summits and other things is that we all do the same thing, but it's not like a competition. Like, there's enough space for us all.
Everyone, yeah. And that's why I love when somebody's willing to share how they did something. I think it's fantastic, and it just helps other people grow. Helps the industry grow.
Yeah, my entire business started by showing what I was doing to my customers. Like, I already had product customers, and what it really turned into was me teaching other people. Like, my customers really could have cared less, but the other crafters did, and they were like, "Oh, could you show us this? Oh, what about that?" And it just grew from there. And I think that's the way probably a lot of us, got going and all of that. I want to answer this question you just put up, though.
I
I
figured
would
somebody
say
could.
Etsy still reigns supreme.
Yeah,
Like,
because of the
as
SEO
much as we all
benefit.
get frustrated, Etsy still easily has the stronghold on online selling for crafters
Yep.
and makers.
I remember the first time I heard about Etsy, it was probably like 2010. And I was like, what is that? They were like, it's like eBay for handmade crafters. I was like, that's awesome.
Have you ever heard the joke where people say, my kids are driving me nuts, I'm going to sell them on eBay? And then the friend comes back and says, oh no, honey, you made those. That's Etsy.
Yep.
That's a
That's
good
a good one. That's a good one. I've been around on Etsy for forever because I was a jewelry designer first, but that's before jewelry was like the main thing on Etsy. And so, but yeah, I think I joined maybe even in like the beta phase of Etsy. So I mean, with a different shop than I have now, but I was like, yeah, I've kind of been here for forever. But as much as we get frustrated as sellers, there's just at the moment no other better place to start. There's better places to do it eventually, but to gain some following.
It's good to know.
Yeah, Etsy has a lot of SEO benefits because it's such a huge platform. So if you're starting, say, a Shopify or a WooCommerce, or I can't think of what else might be out there. But anyway, if you're starting something,
all of them don't have the
right. If you're starting something smaller, you don't have the SEO benefits. Like with Etsy, somebody could be looking at Andrea's shop and stumble across mine, but you don't get that with your own personal shop. And I haven't heard much about Amazon Handmade or looked into much about it.
It's a lot. It's kind of exhausting.
She left.
It's pretty exhausting. Amazon Handmade is pretty exhausting. The new Michaels platform, they've tried this before. We'll see if it's any better. There's Go Imagine. Those will all have some traction for you. But like you said, like especially Shopify, WooCommerce, with any of those, you have to drive every ounce of traffic. And I don't think that's what people understand, because Shopify, WooCommerce, they're hosting platforms. They are not driving traffic for you like Etsy is.
Nope. And it's
Etsy,
hard.
You give them identifying points, but Etsy drives traffic to Etsy.
Unless you're really good with SEO, it's really hard to drive traffic to a site like Shopify or WooCommerce.
Yeah, and having a shop on Shopify is very different than having a shop on Etsy, and I don't think people realize that. Like people are like, but I'm on Shopify, and it's like all they're doing is giving you the framework of where to put it, where Etsy is also giving you the customers.
So simply being, I would do 2 separate shops if you're selling digital and physical products. And the reason why I say that is because those are 2 completely different audiences. You're selling to crafters and you're also selling to, it sounds like, people who don't craft. So I think
I would say it depends on the product and your brand. Like I can put physical stuff in my shop that's mostly digital because people expect both from me. But I would say starting off, that's going to be a hard battle to win.
Yeah, I think it would be confusing.
It can be if you are not really diligent about how you lay your shop out, like moving the little tiles of how people
the reason why I say what I say is I went from physical to digital. So everything that I had in my physical Etsy store, I switched over to digital. So it was confusing for people. Like people thought they were actually getting a t-shirt for $1 and
okay, but in all fairness, they kind of think that anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how, like now I keep for my digital, all my front pictures are just the graphic and like the watermark and stuff. Because if you put it on a shirt or a mock-up or whatever, people just don't get it. And then like I have like big banners on my mock-up being like, this is a mock-up. Like, and people still are like, oh, when did it ship? And I'm like, never. It never shipped.
Yeah.
My favorite part is on my web, like when they buy my book, which is a digital download, and they ask me when I'm shipping their book. And I'm like, it's literally already in your email. But I think you have to be super, super careful on mixing the two. It's doable, but probably not worth it.
Jordan, you can drop any questions that you have in the Facebook group. It does not have to pertain to any of the presentations. If you need help with something, drop the question in the Facebook group, and myself or one of the instructors or sponsors we will answer that question for you, those questions for you, and try to get you a little bit more comfortable with your Cricut.
And don't forget, we all mess up. It's okay to mess up.
Oh, we still mess up.
So I'm curious.
I think a lot of people forget that. I mean, I mess up semi on purpose on videos to show that, like, you're not always going to get it right, but when you're starting, you're really not always going to get it right, and it's okay to screw it up.
Yeah. Somebody asked me once, how do you do it perfect every time? And I was like, you don't see all the video that I edited out, or
right? How you take a 3-hour video and crunch it down to 8 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, in the same vein of what Jordan's asking, I have a question for you all. So when somebody says, I've never touched my Cricut and I don't know where to begin, like what Jordan's asking right now, what project do you all recommend that they start with, or what do you recommend is a good first step?
So for me, I'm a vinyl crafter and I like vinyl, and that's where I would point somebody is to vinyl.
And I actually think HTV is a little
simple,
bit easier.
Like a single layer design. Like, you know, just learning the basics of the basics. And once you get comfortable with that, but with that said, where we're starting here with this summit is where you have to start. Like, you can't craft with your Cricut if you don't know design space.
Amen.
Correct. Yeah.
And I think that's where people start getting overwhelmed. Like, they get overwhelmed at the very beginning before, like, I've heard people, oh, I've had my Cricut for 3 years and it's still in the box. And I think sometimes the software seems intimidating.
I hear that every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Every
I had
day.
dollar for every time I heard that. Yeah.
I work at least once a week with people who haven't taken their printers out of the box, have left their printers alone, like, and they're like, I'm just so overwhelmed. I mean, whether it's sublimation or cutting machine.
It's kind of like all of us, or those of us who have made the decision to walk away from our full-time jobs, as far as we go here, and create a business from this crafting that we do. Like, we don't know what's gonna happen, and you're scared. Like, you're scared to fail, but sometimes you just got to throw yourself in there, and get it done.
And failure is almost the only way to succeed.
Absolutely.
Like, you're I don't care how long you've been doing things, your vinyl can go wrong. You could be me and you forgot. I had not used a cutting machine in forever and had one break, and I totally forgot to lock my bar down so that it tracked correctly. I mean, there's just so many little things that can go wrong that it's not ever gonna be perfect all the time.
So this is what I always tell people. Okay, think about a child, an adult versus a child, right? A child learning how to walk and a child learning how to talk. They are not embarrassed to say the wrong things. They say the wrong things all the time. They have zero fear. They have zero, concern if they're going to make a mistake. They will fall when they walk all the time, and it doesn't concern them, right?
And they get right back.
They have no fear about that. for some reason, somewhere along the way, we learn this thing where we are afraid to make mistakes. We're
Yeah.
afraid to like mess something up. And that is the biggest hindrance to learning any new skill. That's why children are masters at learning a new language. You know, you can see like a young child who has, for example, like one grandparent speaks English and one grandparent speaks Spanish, and they will easily become bilingual because it's just so easy for them to learn because they have no issues with making mistakes. Like it's they don't have that fear of making mistakes. Adults,
Yeah.
on the other hand, it's really challenging for adults to learn like a new skill or a new language because we're so afraid of making mistakes. But if you have no, if you just tell yourself, I'm going to make mistakes. In fact, I want to make mistakes because the more mistakes I make, the more that I'm actually learning. And
Yeah.
what's the worst that can happen? You're going to waste a piece of cardstock. You're going to waste a piece
I
of
was just going to say
vinyl.
that's the difference now with making mistakes is that it costs money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you're learning, go for the cheapest. Get
Yeah.
PSV or adhesive vinyl, whatever you call it, because it's the cheapest. Learn how to cut on that, and then learn what happens when you add too much pressure and that cuts through the backing, and learn what happens when you don't do enough pressure and you can't weed it or whatever it is. Make all those mistakes on the cheaper stuff.
Yep.
The one
I
place I
usually
will
tell
say,
people
please
to start
don't.
with the card.
The one place I
because-
will beg all of you not to use just the cheapest thing you can find, or Amazon is sublimation, because it can be unsafe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dollar
that's
store,
true
no.
too.
Yeah,
Because
that would be
will discourage
discouraging,
you from
actually.
trying again.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but you can find simple projects. Like I talk about simple projects all the time that cost like a penny or 10 cents to do, where you're just learning and going through the motions and the risk is zero.
So you guys are kind of addressing this now. But Jordan, if you go to the Dollar Tree or the $1.25 tree, they have a lot of stuff. Like that's the perfect place to get things to practice on.
Yeah.
You might end up hating the vinyl or hating the materials, but at the least you'll learn how to create and how to cut.
Yeah.
Also, check out your clearance section of your craft stores, because after Christmas, everything that has a Christmas pattern on it is on clearance sale because they went out the door. But if you can flip it around and practice on the other side, or like I always buy my scrapbooking paper for holidays off season because then I get it cheap.
Mhm.
Walmart clearance is a good place to find
Yeah.
Cricut
Yeah.
materials as well.
Also, I would say two things that I don't think people realize. Permanent adhesive vinyl only means you can't like replace it on something. You can peel it off.
Yeah.
People don't realize, I mean, you can't peel it off paper, so it'll tear the paper. But if you're talking putting it on a tumbler, putting it on your desktop, like don't put it on paint, use the removable kind. But like it can come off if you put it on your window, car, and you mess it up. That can all come off. You're only losing the vinyl then. And then for shirts and stuff, when you get into, a few dollars an item and stuff, and you don't, this is the best stuff you can own.
Yep.
It is literally do you guys carry this craft, carry in?
No.
I don't know if you do or not, but Amazon, grab it. It removes the heat transfer vinyl from your shirt. And if you keep the cut on the top really, really tiny, or you get like one of those pin needle bottles and put some in, you can remove those little tiny specks you might have missed when you're weeding it. And you can also heat those little tiny specks from the back and just pick them off with the tweezers. So your entire thing will not be ruined. You won't lose your shirt. If you
Andrea,
get
somebody
some
asked
of the
what
tools.
it is. Can you hold the bottle up again?
No, it's called VLR, and it's specifically for heat transfer vinyl on fabrics. and it works
So
great.
I
You do have to
actually-
wait for it to dry to apply the new vinyl, but
Yeah.
Yes.
but it works amazing. You don't have to wash your shirt between either, as long as you let it dry fully.
And don't use it on printed vinyl, printed HTV.
Oh yeah.
Why?
It would run.
I use it on printed vinyl all the time.
Do you? I had
Yeah.
a customer that
Never
did
had
it.
a problem.
She came to our store because we let people use our heat press and stuff because it's bigger. And she had done it, and part of her shirt was just regular HTV, and then the center logo was printed vinyl, and then under it was regular HTV. And I guess she got too much on, it bled through, and then it made the ink bleed off, and then stained her shirt, her hoodie.
Oh, maybe that's where I'm saying keep the top
little- yeah,
pinholes
Don't
so
use it too
small,
much of it.
and or get the little tiny bottles with the little metal tips that make
Precision
it super
tip,
tiny.
yeah.
If you, because
You
I
have
don't
precision tips
I don't
on
go
them.
and you never want to just go cover your shirt in it.
Yeah.
But I would say I have never personally had it bleed on printed, on glitter, printed, and or sublimated vinyl. I have never had it bleed on me.
I actually have never.
Because I don't know what she printed it with.
Yeah, it could have been one of those like inkjet ones that you then cut out.
Yeah.
That would be a whole different story. I don't personally find the need to use that product because I obviously have other methods, but so I can't speak to that one. But like anything I've either been given or bought that's HTV that is pattern, I've never had a bleed like that.
Oh yeah, not pre-printed. I meant they printed their own.
Yeah,
So it must have
I'm
been
guessing
inkjet.
it must have been that inkjet like StarCraft stuff.
Yeah.
That
Someone
I
asked
definitely can't
for that
speak to.
link to be posted. I just posted the link for the VLR there in the comments. There was another. Oh, here it is. The cost of waste and materials can add up for us in the Caribbean who don't always have access to off-season sales like the U.S. So my suggestion, if you are trying to learn how to, say, cut vinyl, you could grab some contact paper or some wallpaper with the adhesive backing. That way you can cut that instead of cutting your vinyl. You can even try some cheaper papers if it's a paper craft. Like you can find something that is less expensive than your materials. I mean, say faux leather, you can take heat and bond and put it on the back of a piece of fabric. And so you just kind of have to get creative and think of substitutions while you're learning if you're concerned about wasted material.
And then use the quality stuff for your sales.
Exactly.
And by the way, if you don't want to buy VLR or if you don't have any VLR, you can actually take either a home iron. I have a video
or your mini press
or your mini press and heat the back of the shirt. And if you heat it long enough, you can actually peel away the heat transfer vinyl.
Yeah, just keep in mind if you're doing that wanting to remove a small part, that it may remove more.
It's going to remove the whole thing.
Heat is.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
You just have to be a little bit more cautious about where you're heating at. Like
Exactly.
I always use the
I mean, if
iron
it heats
method
up,
to even remove little parts that I forgot to weed.
Yeah, that's
I've done it too. I just meant if you keep the whole thing's coming up, and you're gonna
whatever gets heated for me. I mean, in my experience, I've had to just get rid of the whole thing. But you're saying you've removed like a teeny tiny little bit.
Yeah,
oh, nice.
I use the Easy Press Mini,
I think
or
maybe
my
with the Mini it would be easier.
Mini, and I just use it's pointed at the tip. So I just use the tip and I either use those kind of tweezers or my weeding tool to pull that single piece out and then make sure to lay it all flat before it cools.
Yeah. Jamila, maybe you could drop a link for the mini press.
I sure can.
There's also non-Cricut brand little mini
press. Yeah,
presses
I have.
too.
I'm going to drop the link for the mini press and for the HTV rod.
Yeah.
And you guys can laugh. This is the only Cricut item I own.
Really?
Literally,
Okay,
the only
Andrea.
one. I do not. Oh, I'm sorry. I own some dried up Cricut infusible ink markers that are getting thrown away today because I found them finally, and I was like, oh, I want to do a comparison video between that and another brand. Oh, they're dead. So now I've got to get some more. But yeah, it is the only Cricut item I own. I
Someone
did
had
love
a
Most
vinyl
of those
question.
links are in the comments now. I went overboard in the beginning when I got my first Cricut Maker, and I have lots of vinyl that is old, but it's been kept in a cool, dry place. It's perfectly fine to use. I probably have vinyl from 5-6 years ago that I still use in projects and stuff.
Yep.
It can go bad. It's migration of the adhesive. It migrates with gravity, and it can go bad, and it can, depending on how it's stored, it can
Right.
get like dry rot where it starts to get crumbly and stuff. So most vinyls, well, all vinyls have a life expectancy of, usually 5 to 10 years. They last longer than that, and especially if they're inside. But if you've stored it correctly, and even if it's something like if you have rolls, you need to flip your rolls periodically so that because its own weight will start to mush it kind of. So if you can just move it around and let gravity help it stay smoothed out and whatever, I probably have stuff that's 15 years old.
Yeah, I mean,
it'll still stick.
Like literally this piece is at least, I mean, several of these rolls, because I don't do a lot of adhesive stuff. These are at least 10 years old. But also don't do this. I literally did this for decoration. Do not roll your rolls this tight. They will buckle. I'll show you the
I have a
mine are
ton of
literally
them
for
that were shipped
decoration.
like that,
So,
and they are horrible to try to work with.
Yeah.
you're never going to work with
they're
these
shipped
again
rolled.
after you do this for a while. So loosen them up. Keep in mind, some of us have them this way purely out of decoration.
It does
Less
look
of a
pretty.
concern with HTV, but with adhesive, give yourself steal your it's a trick I used to use. Steal your paper towel, the cardboard on your paper towel holder, or from your paper towel, and wrap it around there, so you get a bigger. Like you run out of a roll of paper towels, right? There's the cardboard. Wrap your vinyl around those so you can keep it bigger than
Or the
having
little
it.
slapstick bracelets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what
Yeah, I
about
mean,
Christmas?
really anything that'll keep it out. I
Christmas
just was
paper?
thinking of
The
something that
Christmas
was-
wrapping paper. It's that time of year. When
Yeah.
you're wrapping your gifts, save that
Yep.
too.
And you can, you don't have to keep the whole thing. You can cut it down, like
Right.
even a paper towel holder. You can make 3 to wrap your vinyl around, and then it doesn't shrink up and become unusable. Because the only vinyl I've ever had that's unusable is because I use it for decor, not for actually using it. And I obviously want a certain look, so I have certain sizes. But I don't also have that problem. HTV, I can roll up however I want, and it seems to be fine.
Denny Dawn, my favorite transfer tape is the cheap contact paper that you use to line your cabinets. That's what I like the most to use for transfer tape. Anybody
Have you
else?
done that with cardstock though? They're asking.
Actually, yeah, I have. Contact paper is a lot less tacky.
Yeah.
So
whatever you use,
as
make
long
sure
as
it's
your
not
vinyl is cut, well enough to pull off the paper without pulling the paper with it, it actually transfers very well.
I do a lot of iron-on vinyl on my cardstock projects.
Someone was saying they preferred
and
iron-on
then
on their
that
cardstock.
carrier sheet just right off. I don't have to mess with glue because you just heat it up and boom, it's stuck.
And you get glitter out of it. That's not like everywhere. Which
Yes.
is, like I'm an massively anti-glitter person. Like I do not own any open loose glitter. And when I did a few, I refused.
You don't like finding it in your hair weeks later?
Right.
No.
So funny story. What Andrea said made me think of this. Before I started my craft business, I was a bartender. And this guy,
I did not know that.
It's hilarious. This guy said that glitter was the herpes of craft supplies.
Craft
I've
world.
heard
Yep.
that more than once.
Yep.
Because it never goes away.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my
it is
goodness.
banned in my household. Always has been. But I'll do like glitter HTV or something like that, and just you'll never. I even bought some like clearance Christmas things the other day at Target, and I noticed like I loved all the ornaments, but they had like 3 glitter ones in. Before I open that box, I will literally walk outside and put them in.
I
Yeah.
love the way glitter looks. I love the way it looks, but yeah, if it's loose glitter, I will avoid it like the plague.
I will
love
say
glitter. I
there
have
is
so
one
much in
hack
my
that I
craft
use.
studio.
Yeah, there's one hack that I used when I used to have it like on my Christmas decorations, and that is hairspray. Hairspray will keep it from getting everywhere.
But
But
if
do it
if
outside.
you have an
I beg of
issue
you.
and you spill glitter, a lint roller is a great.
Oh, that is
Yep.
or
Yep.
vacuum.
Well,
Yeah.
vacuum doesn't even.
Vacuum doesn't even. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No,
I wanted to answer a question that I saw that's gone now, but somebody asked if you can make cards without having the card mat. And the answer is yes. I make more cards than I can count. I have 12 nieces and nephews, and I send every one of them a birthday card every year. So I make a lot of birthday cards.
One of my videos.
I don't own a card mat, so yes.
One of
you
my
can use your
videos
standard
for
mat.
this summit is a card, and surprisingly enough, I have a card mat that I have never used.
Yeah.
Well,
I have a card
I
mat
take
that
that
I've
back.
never
I've
used.
used my Joy card mat, but I haven't used the Maker one. I saw it. I was like, "Ooh, I need this."
So the
and
purpose
haven't-
of the card mat is so that you can cut, so you can cut it while it's folded,
Right.
right? So that you can cut the outside while it's folded. But if you are just laying your card flat on your mat,
Right.
then it just needs to be designed a certain way so that it can do that. Andrea,
Yeah, I have no idea what you guys are talking about in terms of the card mat, but just keep in mind if you're putting paper down and it's too sticky, it will mess it up.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm not a Cricut person because you're like card mat, and I'm like, I have no idea. But for those of you who
They make.
don't have any
They
clue
make.
like me what they mean,
Cricut has a mat that is specifically for cards. Like you can cut your card while it's folded. So you stick the back end in and you fold it over, and then trying to visualize that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that one up.
They came out with that when the Joy came out because that's when they also started selling the pre-folded cards. So you could buy the pre-folded cards and you slide them in to the card mat.
If I'm cutting out and scoring the card, why would I then need to put it back on a different mat?
No.
I got you now. It's just to get you to buy more things.
Someone asked me to post the VIP link again, and I am posting that now. Margie, if you didn't answer all of the questions, it automatically declines you. So you have to put the email address you use to register, and you have to agree to the group rules to be added. So go ahead and try again. Go ahead and look at your email and grab the link to the Facebook group.
I would say also Facebook hasn't always been bringing up the rules for people, so you may need to go in and do join and make sure the rules are coming. The things you have to fill out are coming up because
you might have to scroll down a little bit. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, like if you go to the Facebook group page and you do it as opposed to in the feed or something, then give it a minute. Don't just X out because you said.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because it's taking time for it to load the rules and stuff to have you input your information, and it's not always doing that. So, but give it 5-10 seconds because I've been noticing a delay. I joined a different group and I was like, oh, they don't have questions, but it was just delayed 10 seconds and I had happened to walk away and it came back up. So it may be that Facebook's just lagging on you.
Yeah. Hey, Jordan, you said you're going to have to look up how to make cards and you have the scoring stylus. That's what I use. Regular matte scoring stylus. I actually did an article last year that was 20 different styles of cards that you can make just using the ordinary matte and a stylus. So you don't need the fancy scoring wheel.
And you can always have it do like a little intermittent cut too if you
can. I do like my
the
scoring
scoring's not working for you.
So we're right at an hour. I think we are going to go ahead and wrap up and start drawing some winners. Tonight we are
Choose
going
some winners. Choose some winners.
Woo! Winner,
I
winner,
don't know
chicken winner.
we're gonna here, I gotta move everything around so that present, share screen. There we go. Here is our first winner, Sharon Phillips.
Yay!
So we have Sharon. Let's draw a second one. And you guys are getting the VIP pass. If you've already paid for the VIP pass, you can send me an email, winner or not. Or if you're a winner, you're going to email me. But if you've already purchased the VIP pass, let me know that, and I'll give you some choices for some other things. So let's do one more.
Girl.
Awesome.
Don't draw your own name, Jamil.
It keeps trying to stop on me, right?
It did that last
week.
So the email address that our 3 winners needs to use to contact me is help@jamilapayne.com, and just email and let me know that you were the winner of the day 1 sip and chat giveaway. We'll be back here tomorrow, probably with some different guests, some of different instructors. But we'll be back tomorrow to sip and chat again. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Cheers.
Thank you. And thanks, Jamila.
Yeah, big hand for Jamila.
That was fun.